touching US dollar 3.5 trillion mark in last few sessions. If we go back in time, say a couple of months, the Apple was lagging. There were many question marks whether the Apple is trying and developing its AI tools or not, and those speculations have now been led to the rest as it has decided to partner with the OpenAI and integrate its ChatGPT platform in the Apple ecosystem with Siri and other tools going to take advantage of these ChatGPT's features, which will enrich the customer experience and drive value creation. It is yet to unveil its product and services offering with integration of the AI tools, but that is, I think, not far from now. In a couple of months, by the second half of this year, we will have the tools available on the Apple's products, and with that expectation, we have seen recent surge in the market valuations of the Apple as many traders and investors believe that Apple is getting its AI play right, and in times to come, again, it will be in a strong position in comparison to its peers. So with that, we now head to the second quarter earnings report for the fiscal year 2024. It has been a fabulous quarter for the company where it touched its highest ever EPS. This is the condensed consolidated statement of operations. The key takeaway is the increasing revenue, a significant increase in the revenue from the services side, even though there has been substantial decline in the revenue from the products that has been to some extent offset by the increase in the services and its revenues. If we compare the net figures, the total figures are still lower by around 4 percentage point, but the company is quite confident. And if we consider its net income, it is still quite good. Its cash utilization for the stock buyback has resulted in this best ever quarterly EPS, even though its revenue is not really rising, its net income is also slightly lower, but then the cash buyback program is yielding results and making the Apple stock pricey in a competitive environment. Looking at the cost of sales, there has been slight increase in the cost of sales in comparison to the last year, and its operating expenses are also slightly lower. But still, overall, if we look at these numbers, you will see that the operating income was not much impacted by the steep decline in the not steep decline, it is still in lower single digits, but still in a year-on-year term where we pay attention to the rise in the revenues. This is a bit of a negative development, but still the investors are not that negative. The bearishness has evaporated from the Apple stock. If we consider the price action, say a couple of months back, then of course that bearishness was there and it was pushing the Apple stock lower. But with this new initiative taken to get its mojo back in this AI era, the Apple is also well positioned for further growth in the revenues and net income in the coming quarters. So that expectation is actually driving the recent frenzy in its stock price, which has rallied around 40 percentage point in the span of just a couple of months, even though its revenues are still to catch up. Now let us see how the company generated cash and where it utilized these cash generated from the operations. For that, we will have to consider the cash flow statement. From the operating activities, it generated the humongous figure of US dollar 62.5 billion. You are not going to see many companies in this world which are able to generate this kind of cash from the operations, and that is also the reason why Apple is one of the largest company by market cap in the world. From the cash, it generated nearly the same amount of cash it generated a year back. There is not much of an increase in this year. For the investment activity, there was cash inflow with the proceeds from the marketable securities amounting to US dollar 27.46 billion. Out of that, again, reinvestment took away US dollar 25 billion, and the payment for the acquisition of property, plant, and equipment resulted in the cash outflow of US dollar 4.38 billion. Coming to the financing activity, the major chunk of cash went into the repurchase of common stock, that is at US dollar 43.3 billion. There is a huge amount it is spending on the cash buyback program, and it is part of its plan to spend more than $100 billion. From the financing activity, there was net cash outflow of US dollar 61 billion. Still, it is sitting on a comfortable cash pile of US dollar 33.92 billion, with the cash and cash equivalents increasing in the given period by US dollar 3.18 billion. So all in all, the company's cash position is quite comfortable. It is one of the most profitable company in the world, and with this new initiative, it is trying to become the most profitable company in the world. That is one thing for sure. Of course, time will tell whether it succeeds in its endeavor or not. Now we head to the JForex 4 platform to see how its stock price has fluctuated over last few days, last few weeks, last few months, and of course last few years. If we have to consider its stock price trajectory over different span of time, we have to see what is our time horizon and then trade and invest accordingly. For the Apple, last few weeks have been phenomenal. Its stock price has skyrocketed. It started rallying somewhere close to US dollar 165 mark, and now here we are seeing the Apple having touched its recent peak of US dollar 233, and that translates roughly to the 40% increase in the span of just a couple of weeks. Maybe you can even say a couple of months. But the key takeaway is that its collaboration with the OpenAI has enhanced its appeal to the shareholders, to the investors, to the traders across the world, and this rally, which started back in second half of April, is still going strong. Now we are in the month of July, but we are not really seeing any signs of stopping just yet. In this environment, I feel if your outlook is just confined to a couple of days, then also the best thing to do is adopt a buy on dips approach. Of course, it is going to be a bit risky on these higher levels. There has been strong rally from 200 to 233, and maybe allowing it next few days to consolidate and then provide us with a more clearer picture. Might be helpful. You can adopt that strategy also if your outlook is limited in time span. Then I would say that adopting a wait and watch approach and allowing it more time to consolidate is going to be a better idea rather than taking any knee-jerk action straight away, looking at its strong bullish momentum. Expanding the time horizon to daily in the medium term also, the best thing to do is of course going to be to buy, and buy on dips is the natural choice for the strategy adaptation. And it having reached this peak and sitting on the very top level, I would say pay attention to the corrective phase if it unfolds in the Apple over next few days, and after next few weeks you might get a next chance to get involved in this rally if we don't really see any significant decline from the current level, and if the Apple is able to hold and sustain its price action above 200, then I think that would be a new price level to watch out for as long as it trades above this immediate swing high, this prior swing high, which is now broken, and we have seen Apple establish a breakout with this sustained momentum over last few weeks. So in coming days also that price level is going to be crucial, and that is something which we should pay attention to. We will have to be patient here because I don't really feel going for a trade or investment decision straight away is going to yield us that advantage of getting the risk reward ratio in a favorable manner. So, as to ensure that the risk reward ratio is favorable and we won't be losing too much money if we get it wrong, just to make sure that is the case, we will have to be on the sidelines for a while now. Maybe after a couple of weeks, you can then make a fresh assessment and go for the newer trading decision. In the long term, after this consolidation extending over last few years, the Apple was struggling after getting close to the 200 price level. It spent many years in this consolidation phase, and now finally we are seeing this strong breakout on the higher side. In this environment, I feel this market breakout which we are witnessing in the Apple is likely to sustain itself over the next few months, next few quarters, and adopting a buy on dips approach with this immediate swing high, prior swing high of 200 is going to be crucial. So what I said for the medium term also applies for the long term. Pay attention to the price action over next few weeks, next few months, and as long as this price level of 200 holds, we will be in a good position to profit from the Apple stock in next rally as well. There has been already a strong rally, and that makes it very difficult for us to get involved now at the current juncture and profit in a fantastic manner. Maybe after we wait it out and allow it to consolidate and correct, and maybe after that we will be getting a chance to profit from the next rally. So that's it from my side for today's session, where we consider the second quarter earnings report for the Apple and its bull run in the market spanning last couple of weeks, last couple of months, which is putting the Apple on the top of the world. It is again now uh, the company with the largest market capitalization, which it was struggling to hold for last few months, last few weeks, and now here it is able to establish its lead again. So with that, it's time for me to say goodbye for the day. If you have found the session informative and useful for your trading and investment decision, do write to me in the feedback and I will be more than happy to take the discussion forward. Thank you all for joining in. Have a fabulous day ahead, a fabulous week ahead, a fabulous month ahead. See you next time around. Till then, goodbye.